Here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Mansfield Town Views and Views podcast. In tonight's episode, we're going to be talking Forest Green Rovers. We're going to be previewing Scunthorpe this weekend. And also, we're going to be talking about the sending off with George Lapsley at Forest Green. And we're going to have a discussion on that and giving our thoughts on that end. Also, we've got some more player interview news for you as well later on in the podcast, which I'll get down to. And much more. But first off, guys, thanks for tuning into the podcast as always. Always appreciate you taking your time out your evening to, watch me and have my views on Mansfield Town. And, obviously for you guys to have your opinions as well. First comment of the night. Chris, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, great. Thanks, Chris. Obviously disappointed to get the defeat last night. But, other than that, can't be too down. It's our first loss in a few games. We've still got a game in hand. So, disappointing to lose last night, of course. But, we're still in a good position in the league, and it's still to play for with 7 games to go. So, all is not lost yet, still plenty to play for. So, obviously, talking about the Forest Green Rovers game, obviously it ended in defeat for us. It was one of them goals, wasn't it, where it was just lucky, to be fair. Because, to be fair to Bishop, pulled off a great save and the ball came out to one of their players and he just stuck it in the net. And, I thought that was really, really lucky as well, to be fair. It's one of them, it can go either way, deflection, but it just went to one of their players and then they just stuck it in the back of the net. But that's how it goes. But there's so much to get into with the Forest Green because, it's one of them. Yeah, they're the league leaders. Obviously, they're a good side. They've proven that in the table. But to be honest with you, I thought we matched them. If I'm honest with you, I did think we played well in spells. It's just my only thing is we didn't create enough chances for me. That was the only downside to it. To be honest, I thought the performance it was there, but again, it was just I don't think we tested the Forest Green keeper enough. Lucas Aikens had a chance. He had a massive chance, and Stephen Quinn in the first half. But other than that, I'm failing to really think of any more clear-cut chances. That's the only downside. And obviously the sending off, which I don't know how the referee saw that as a sending off. I don't understand that. I mean, let us know your thoughts on that as well. The sending off for George Lapsley. I don't understand how the referee come to a conclusion it was a sending off. It was, for a start, it was nowhere near the player. It was nowhere near the Forest Green player. And the funny thing is the referee was right in front of it as well. And Forest Green, their players didn't appeal for anything as well. So it was an odd one, to be honest with you. It was a really strange one, but it was never a red card in a million years. And I don't know if you've seen, but the club, they've actually put an appeal on for the red card. So the club's going to be challenging that. So hopefully George Lapsley will be available for us in the next game against Scunthorpe because it just was never a red card in my opinion. I don't see how he came to that conclusion. But anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts. Do you think it was a red card for George Lapsley or do you disagree on that? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get down to some more of your comments, guys. Chris, it's against the leaders as well. Yeah, it's one of them. It's more frustrating because, like I say, I think most fans would have took a point going into it, to be honest with you. I mean, I certainly would. But yeah, it's just one of them. The referee on the night was really poor for us, to be honest with you. I don't like going on about referees. I hate going on about officials because I always look at it and think, well, us as a team, we should do more to create chances than win. I hate talking about officials. I can't stand to, but the referee last night was awful. He really was. There was so many times where their players kept on repeatedly fouling our players, and he wasn't booking off their players, and yet, the referee was quite happy with our players for less challenges. So it just bemused me, to be honest. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We went down to 10 men, and obviously that changed the game essentially. Although having said that, though, even at 10 men, I thought we contained Forest Green quite well. Say that we was a man short. I thought we still went for it. Nigel brought on Danny Johnson to try and give us an attacking threat. It was good to see him on the pitch. So we still tried to get a point from the game. So the effort was there. It's just the quality on the night sadly wasn't really. But like I say, we're still 7 games to go. We've got a game in hand, so we are still very much in the promotion race. It's not over until the fat lady sings. Yes, it was disappointed to not get at least a point last night, but at the end of the day, we're still in it, and there's a lot can happen from now until the end of the season. So we are still within a chance, and we've come this far. So let's hope this setback doesn't, affect the team too much, and we can go to Scunthorpe and get back on the winning trail, hopefully. Let's get down to some of your comments, guys. Good evening, Paul. Thanks for tuning into the podcast, mate. Really appreciate you taking your time out of your evening to take part in the podcast, mate. It's always great to chat to you, mate. Paul, we deserved a draw, mark, and if Atkins would have scored, yeah, it was a massive chance, wasn't it? Like I say, I've been impressed with Lucas, to be fair. I know there's been criticism thrown at him, and at times I think it is justified because obviously he is a goal scorer naturally. His record speaks for itself. But Nigel seems to be playing him in a number of different positions. He's played him at fullback, he's played him on the wing. It's I like to see him more play as a more central striker, Lucas Akins, because again he's a goal threat. He's a massive goal threat, obviously, but like I say, his hold up play is great. His linking up with players is great. It's just he needs a goal, don't he? He just massively needs a goal. And last night he had such a big opportunity to get that, and well, it wasn't to be, obviously, but yeah, massive chance. I think it was one of the biggest chances in the game from our point of view, alongside Quinn in the first half when he had a long range effort that just went wide. But yeah, it's just another one of them frustrating evenings again, isn't it, really? We get such a great result against Northampton, a hard-fought win against them, and, going into it full of confidence and against Forest Green, and, it's just one of them. Some things go for you and other things don't, but yeah, on the night, I don't think we was necessarily bad. I just don't think we had enough quality on the night, personally. I thought the effort was there. It just not enough quality, in my opinion, on the night. Obviously, it's always going to be a tough game against the league leaders. Obviously they're a good side. That's why they're where they are in the league. But when you think about it, we've come such a long way in the couple of months under Nigel. When you think about it, the first 14 games were obviously near the bottom 2, and you look where we are now. I don't think many fans would have seen that happen, to be fair, if I'm honest. But yeah, it was a frustrating game all around, though. Can't really say any more plainer than that, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think a draw would have been a fair result for us, to be fair, but sadly it just wasn't meant to be. Yeah, Paul, definitely not red, at most a yellow. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't understand what the referee saw. I mean, only he'll know that, but say if that's a red card, then the game's completely gone, in my opinion, because again, okay, fair enough. If it had caught him, then if there were contact there, fair enough, but the fact of the matter is there was no contact there, so it bemuses me as to why. But it is what it is. But hopefully the club will win the appeal against that. The club recently tonight, if you've not seen this on the page, Stags have put an appeal against George Lapsley's sending off to try and get him back for the next game because, well, it was just never a sending off. So hopefully the club will win that. and get Lapsley back in there. But yeah, like I say, guys, let us know your thoughts on the Forest Green Rovers game as a whole. What did you make of it if you went down to the game or watched it on iFollow like myself? What was your thoughts on it, guys? Did you think we deserved a draw, or do you think we deserve nothing from it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you do that, I'm just looking at the League Two table. Excuse me. So we're still in sixth place. We've got 66 points. And we've played 39 games. So we've got a game in hand over quite a lot of teams around us, to be fair. And if we win that game in hand, then that'll put us, up to third, depending on how other teams get on. So we're still in a great position where we are, but we really need to win that game in hand. We need to win that game in hand. There's no if, buts, maybes. We've just got to do that, against Stevenage when we play them. Because again, we can't afford to, drop points at this stage of the season now. Because I think we've dropped that many points over the course of the season. But these are the times where you've got to try not to drop points. So, so yeah, we're still in a good position despite all that. We are. But yeah, like I say, when you look at the running now with the games that we've got, all due respect to the teams we're coming up against, they're like teams around the bottom, mid-table, teams that's not really doing much in the league, to be honest with you. So in terms of the running, I'd say we've got like a really good fixture list, to be fair, in terms of the opposition. I know that's not a given, but, I think in terms of the running, I think we've got some really good games that are winnable for me. I really do. I think a lot of these games are winnable, in my opinion. Yeah, so like I say, we're still in a great position in the league, and we've just got to put last night's defeat behind us now, and hopefully George Lapsley's red card will be overturned, and rightly so, because if not, then there's something seriously wrong with that, because again, it was it was never a red in a million years, and that's all I'm going to say on it. But yeah, it was never a red card. I don't know what they even. I mean, what made it worse was the the Forest Green players didn't even protest either. They didn't even expect it to be a red, so it just made it even more embarrassing for the referee as well. But even despite the red card, though, I thought the referee was poor altogether last night. From our point of view, he was just brandishing yellow cards left, right, and centre to our lot. But he just wasn't a great ref on the night. But end of the day, you've still got to carry on through all that adversity and try and get something out of the game. And we had chances, didn't we? We did have chances in the game, not many, but we did have chances to try and get something. So it's not like we didn't go there and we was completely dominated. We did have chances through Akins, and like I say, Quinn had a massive chance in the first half that just went wide. So we did have chances in the game to get something from it, and on another night we could have done, but. It's one of them. We've just got to just get back on the winning horse, if you like, and just make sure that we not only perform better, but just be more clinical. It's as simple as that. Because obviously we can't afford to be dropping points at this stage of the season. We've got 7 cup finals now, so we've got to at least win at least 6 if we can, but. Let's see how it goes. Take each game as it comes. But yeah, we've got to win more than half of them. Chris, you already relegated Scunthorpe. Surely you should win. Well, this is the thing, though, isn't it, Chris? I mean, you know as well as I do, as a football fan yourself. It should be easy, but even though they're more or less down Scunthorpe, they've got freedom now because they know they're pretty much down, but they still want to be playing, because this is the thing what you've got to think of as well. Even teams that are relegated, then players want to play for a contract for other league clubs, so they're still going to put out a good performance. So even though they're more or less down, I know it's not confirmed yet, but it's obviously only a matter of time, but them players are still going to want to perform for other clubs looking at them for next season. So I'm not expecting an easy game against Scunthorpe. On paper, yeah, it is, but at the end of the day, every game's tough for every team, not just us, just like other teams around us. So, and a lot of people are expecting that, but I'm not expecting it to be easy. I'd be very surprised if it was. But at the end of the day, I try not to focus on other teams. I just try and focus on what we're doing, if I'm honest. But yeah, I think we've got to win Saturday regardless who we play, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's, we do things the hard way at Mansfield. We never do things the easy way, Chris. We never do. It's always the Mansfield Town way. It's never easy. But, like I say, we're still in the mix. Still got 7 games to go for, plus a game in hand. So it's all to play for, It's all still to play for, And again, we're in the mix. So, like I say, all we can do is just try and put it behind us. That's all we can do. What else have we got on here? But yeah, just talking about the Scunthorpe game. Like I've just said there, they're more or less down, obviously, Scunthorpe. But like I say, they're going to be a tough opposition. I think everyone's tough, regardless. When you're away from home, I think every team can be tough, regardless of where they are, because at the end of the day, a lot of them players obviously will be relegated and they'll want to be performing. So, they've got freedom, haven't they, to play football, because at the end of the day, they know they're down, so they're just going to perform to the best of their abilities. So they are dangerous teams to play, But like I say, if we go into it with the mentality of, just performing to the best of our abilities, then we know on our day we can challenge any team in this league. But we've just got to be wary of a team against, that's going to play against the freedom. So, yeah, we've got to be wary of that. Evening, Dad. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Appreciate that. Chris, but now Scunthorpe are down. They will end up playing. Yeah, that's it, Chris. I mean, it's one of them in football. Teams at the bottom is always hard to play. Every team is. We played Oldham a few weeks ago, and we only just won at the last minute, and it's one of them. Teams at the bottom are always hard to play against. When we play you guys, I know you're more or less safe now, Carlisle, but, it's teams have struggled up against Carlisle, and we've always struggled against you guys at your place. So when we come around to playing you guys, I'm not expecting that to be an easy game because, it's, even though you're safe, you still want to finish on a high, whereas obviously we want to try and get most points possible to try and get in the automatic spot, if we can. So it's one of them that we've still got some tough fixtures to come, but Scunthorpe, that's not going to be an easy game. It's not. I don't see it being like that. But then again, this is League Two. We don't know. Anyone can beat anyone, as we know. So, but that's the beauty of football. You just never know. But yeah, they, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. So, anyone that thinks it's going to be easy, who knows? But I don't think it will be personally. But who knows? I hope I'm proven wrong. Oops. Paul, 2 right mark. Scunny will be up for it, so we have to be on our game as always. Well, that's it, Paul. We can't afford to make mistakes. It's as simple as that. We just can't afford to do that. Now, in terms of making mistakes, I don't just want to pick on Hawkins because it's one of them. I know he's had to fill in at centre half due to injuries in the past, but I do feel as though Hawkins shouldn't have to play centre half now. I don't see why Nigel keeps playing him back there. It's a mystery to me. And I'm joined with a special guest, by the way, guys. I'm just going to get my mate on the podcast, Dougie, to have his say on things as well. So just bear with me 1 second and I'll get back to you on that one.
Hello.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, dude, how you going on?
Yeah, Sam, mate. Thanks for joining us, mate. Appreciate that.
It's all right.
Yeah. All right, mate. So just joined with Dougie here, like my mate here, just to talk on everything MTFC. So, yeah, thanks for taking your time out, mate.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, so, what's your final thoughts on the Forest Green Rovers game from last night?
Well, since we're down 10 men, I thought we played quite well. I thought we're by far the better team from first half to second.
Yeah.
And from how much credit I've got to give the players was absolutely brilliant. But the send off wasn't a send off in a million years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't, mate. Yeah, you're right. And we were just saying that earlier on in the chat, like, I don't know what the referee saw, but like I said to you earlier on, I don't know what the referee saw, but I don't know if you've seen this, mate, but the club's launched an appeal against that, so surely it's got to get overturned, surely.
It's got to be, because I don't even know what came the referee watching.
Hang on. Say that again, mate. You was on mute.
I don't understand what game the referee was watching.
Sorry, mate. I can't hear, mate. Hang on.
Oh, where's the mute button?
Change your settings on here.
I don't know anything about computers.
Right. While you sort that out, mate, I'm just going to read some of the comments. I'll let you sort that first. Chris getting win, all that matters. Yeah, that's it, Chris. That's all that matters, mate. Even if it's a sloppy 1-0 win, like it was against Northampton for us, then that's it. That's all that matters. I still can't hear you, Doug, mate. Hang on. I think you've muted yourself. Hang on. Yeah.
Unmute.
Right. Come on, mate. Yes. Sorry, you were saying about Luxley.
Well, it wasn't even a red card. I don't know what game the referee were watching, so...
Yeah, it wasn't, mate. It wasn't. It was awful. But like even when we went down to 10 men, we didn't give up, did we? We still kept on going for that point. And again, it just shows you the team just doesn't give up, even when we're playing against all that.
I thought we had decent chances, even was down 10 men, but for Johnson, he could have easily passed the ball, or he could have carried on running, but he didn't do it.
Yeah, no, that's it, mate. And it's like I say, when you look at their goal and that, it was just really lucky when it came out to him. Obviously, Bishop, a great save, and it comes out to one of their players, and that's just pure luck. Really,
I felt Northampton at weekend. I thought we played all right, but we didn't play to our full potential.
Yeah, I agree on that, mate. And like I say, they created a few problems for us. They hit the crossbar, and I think at times we did have to ride our luck at times because again, they're another good side. I think one of the best teams we've played up against. Them and Exeter really stand out for me, mate, this season.
Yeah, they do. And their goalkeeper, all hands up to him because the saves that we're pulling off were unbelievable.
Yeah, especially that one against Longstaff. That was a top draw, mate. That was, I tell you. Really was. I'm just going to read some of the comments in the chat. Chris, Scunthorpe 1, Mansfield 2. Forest Green didn't beat Scunthorpe easily either recently. Yeah, we've just been talking about Scunthorpe, Doug, recently with the chat, and like I'm just saying to people, it's not going to be an easy game. I can't see it being easy because even though they're more or less down, they're still going to want to play with that freedom.
Yeah, they are. They're going to fight. They're going to get right into us and scrap.
Yeah.
It'll be a scrapping game.
And another thing as well, like I said earlier, obviously a lot of them players are going to be released at the end of the season, but they're still going to want to impress clubs in League Two, maybe even higher. So they're basically playing for a contract, essentially.
Yeah, well, we've seen it all before.
Yeah, and like I say, look at Oldham the other week, mate, when we played them. That was that. We only won the last minute there, didn't we? That was just pure...
Yeah, we did.
So you know yourself, mate, how tough these games can be. So I don't think it'll be a walk in the park like people were thinking it's going to be.
Well, teams like play bottom of the league anyway are never going to be easy.
No, because they're always fighting, aren't they? Not to say we're not, but obviously they're fighting to stay up as well, and they're the hardest teams. I think they're harder than what your Forest Greens and your Northamptons are for me.
They are.
So... I was just obviously talking about the defence, obviously, a bit briefly, about Hawkins playing as a centre half. Would you keep him back there, or would you change it around for somebody like Rawson or Perch? Because I just think we've got more capable centre halves playing there.
Yeah, we have. I know Perchy last night. Clifford turned around and said he wasn't well enough from 100% really, so get a bit of running time. But I'd rather him be at back and then give Hawkins a good run forward.
Yeah, same, mate. And like I say, I know there's been games when he's performed decent in that for me, but like I say, his main strength's up front there. So I just don't understand why he doesn't Rawson back there. Because I think Rawson's
It's not that is Hawkins is good in the air, so is that type of player that we do need up forward. But It's like what we spoke about earlier on, is having him in defence for his height. You can't really put him there, only except for defending the goal. But if we have to score a goal to keep the pressure on the teams around us a lot, then it's going to be more different. So you've got to change your tactics sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. You have to against certain teams, definitely. Obviously, I'm just looking at the league table now, and we're still six, still got the game in hand. So, at the end of the day, we're still in the mix with things. So, we've got the opportunity to still.
Yeah, true. But we don't have to play anyone at the top end now. Some of them have still got to play each other, so that's the interesting bit. Only the top two now still got to play is Forest Green at home.
Yeah, and that's it. And I said this earlier on as well. Funny enough, we've only got to play teams like the mid-table teams and stuff. So, not say they're not tough games, because obviously everyone is at this stage of the season. But when you think about it, Port Vale, they've still got to play Exeter, Northampton, and you know what I mean. So I think we've got the best running in terms of the fixtures, in my opinion.
We have. Well, we've still got to play Stevenage at home, and that one not being his game because they're going to be fighting and scrapping as well. So.
Yeah, they will, mate, and this is it, mate. They're always tough games, as we know. So what would you make any changes to Saturday? Dougie, would you make many changes to the lineup in this week?
Yes.
Only one change I'd do, and that's forward. If Oates is fit enough, then play him. But it's going to be an awkward one.
Yeah, it will be. Because obviously it depends on the players. If they're back from injuries and what have you. But hopefully we'll have George Lapsley on Saturday as well. Because again, it was never a red card, obviously. But we'll have to see on that one. Paul, bottom clubs can be dangerous, and that's it, mate. We've got to keep that in mind. Like I say, we're going to be backed by a massive support of Stags fans. It's going to be a great atmosphere, first and foremost. So I can't wait to be down there myself, to be honest with you. Obviously, there's going to be a fancy dress thing on the new Winnable West Field tonight. So, there's going to be a lot of nuns on there. So, pick that like a sort.
I'll be dressing up.
Yeah.
On the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another comment here from Paul. What about Aiken? Should he start on Saturday? Good question. That should Lucas Aiken start on Saturday? With him, or would you rest him?
I'll bring him on as a sub. Really, I'll put him on bench, but I'll keep bringing him on as a sub because not that is he can hold up the ball.
Yeah, he can.
But he can hold up the ball.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like I say, he's amazing at holding balls up as well as bringing players into link-up play. But I think it could be a good chance to bring Danny Johnson in, mate. To be honest with you, because I didn't think he did bad when he came on.
I didn't think he did that bad, but it was just his shooting efforts.
Yeah, I mean, he was having a go at least. Obviously, he's not been. He's been like the forgotten man essentially. So it's good to see him on the pitch as well. So hopefully he can.
With that shot that did, I think it more of a smash and grab.
Yeah, definitely. But like I say, if obviously depending on injuries and stuff, obviously you'd have to put Rhys Oates back in there, but at the same time, it does give players other opportunities as well. So hopefully, we can see Johnson, maybe bring Aikens on. You could do that. Like I say, personally speaking, I put either Rawson or
I'd do exactly the same, really.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, we've seen it before, mate. It's so much of a threat. Hawkins is from free kicks and corners, you know what I mean. So it's like every time he goes up there, he's always a complete menace. So I don't know why we just wouldn't stick him up there, mate. To be fair.
Well, I'm surprised that after Northampton game, I'm surprised that they didn't give him a shot up forward, put him back in his traditional position because he is a threat in the air and he's scary.
Yeah, he is, mate. And like I say, he's a natural goal scorer himself. So we've got plenty of options that Nigel can turn to, obviously. But no, from what Nigel Clough said in his interview, we thought, the performance was there, and, I think the only thing that really disappointed him, besides the result, was just the official, really. But, I don't want to go on too much about the officials because, you know how much we don't like talking about them. But it just ruins the game, if anything, for both sides, really, you know what I mean? And, it's just awful officiating this one, mate.
Well, no, that is the worst thing about it is half of them were just going down for anything, really. Even if they were on random, they would getting free kicks and all sorts.
Yeah, that's it. And like I say, I don't want to go too much on that, obviously. But again, it's one of them when a lot of their players, like Jamil Matt, for example, I think 5 or 6 times he must have been complaining at the referee, and all he got was a single booking. And I don't know how many times a player has to physically. What a player has to do to get sent off, to be honest with you, mate. I don't understand it. It was just too lenient with them, but with us, it was like it was called happy.
But a bit just ask Clansley.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't really. It just makes you wonder at times, but that's all I've got to say on the referees because I hate them.
Cheers.
Regarding Akins, Paul says he gives 100% effort, but his first touch lets him down. Yes, give DJ a go. Bang on, I think I do the same, to be honest with you, Doug. I don't know about you. But...
I'd agree.
Again, it's not like he's been playing bad, Aiken. It's just one of them. I think it's just, I don't know if it's a confidence thing with him, but I think when he gets that first goal, I think that will really get that pressure off him.
Bear him up, yeah.
We saw it with Don Johnson, and same with Reece Oakes. He went through a spell early in the season where
he did, yeah.
He didn't play bad, but he just missed chances. And when he got that first goal, that was it. So hopefully for Akins, he can get that as well. It's just confidence, isn't it? Really?
It is. It's that sort of confidence that you need as a striker. It just only takes one opportunity for you to be up and running.
Yeah, that's it. But when you think about it with Akins, in his defence, he has been playing full-back width, so he's not really had that central position up front, really, not often. So maybe we could just try and play him centrally, say alongside Oates if he's fit. Maybe that might, play to his strength.
Not that is past few weeks played some brilliant football, but now it's coming down to nitty-gritty, exactly what Cloughie turned around and said is now it's not about performances, it's about results.
Yeah, it is, mate, exactly. And end of the day, he's been there and done that. And it must be so to hit when you've come off the defeat and then you get your manager basically saying, look, he's still confident going into the last 7 games. That must be a massive
It is. And not that is hungry as well, Cloughie is.
But yeah, like I say, and again, I'm not being too critical of Akins because we know what he can do on his day. And I think it's just... if it's a case of settling in or something, because he has performed well. His performances have been bang on, to be honest. It's been great. Just confidence, I think, mate. I think
it's just that last bit for him. If he gets that last bit, or even give him a running youth reserves, and let's see if he scores in that, then that might just boost him on a bit more.
Yeah, I think that's all it is, mate. I think that's all it is with players, especially strikers. I mean, when I've interviewed strikers before, they've always said that's all it comes down to, that one chance, and that's it. They just feel like taking shots off and that, and that's all it comes down to, mate. I think.
It seems like when Grinner came here on loan from Man City when we had him, and he went an all-out striker to start off with, then all of a sudden he only had that one chance, and then that were it. He was up and running following season. He was top goal scorer.
Yeah,
he was hitting him for fun.
Yeah, and nobody at that time thought he was going to do that. He was just someone he didn't really. Obviously, at that time, he was still a young lad, still coming through, and he comes here, and next, so there's still a chance,
Same with Liam Lawrence, he were another one.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Bang on, I couldn't agree more. But even Ashley, there's a good player in Akins. It just needs to click for him. One goal will do it. Only thing is, we're running out of games for him to find his form. And that's the only concern we've got, really, because 7 games, it might seem a lot, but it's not. When you've got Saturday, Tuesday, next thing you know, you're in May and you think, bloody hell, crunch, you know what I mean? So hopefully next game against Scunthorpe is a massive opportunity for a team that's low on confidence. They've lost so many games, and this is a massive chance for him to do that.
Funny bit is, Scunthorpe, maybe they're going to be scrapping, but their confidence isn't going to be very high.
Exactly, mate. And I know we lost against Forest Green, but you could tell, even with 10 men, like, obviously when we watched the game, the players were still going at it, and they didn't give up. So, again, the effort's always going to be there. It's just that final ball, isn't it, at that time, that final effort. That's what lets us down, I think, at times.
It sounds like we played Scunthorpe down here when we played at Mill. We played all right, but as soon as they got that first goal, then they thought they'd won the FA Cup. Then when we won it ourselves, and they were quiet. They didn't know what to say.
Yeah, it was. That's it, mate. And like I say, when you think about how far we've come, obviously, early in the season, it took us 14 games to obviously win a match for a start. So it's an amazing turnaround. But I just think at this stage of the season, you just got to try and not drop points if you can. That's the thing we've got to focus on. But yeah, Scunthorpe, if we can win against them, and we just need to win that game in hand, mate, when it comes round to it, mate, because we just can't afford to drop any more points.
No, it's going to come right down to nil now.
Yeah, it will. And like I say, I know obviously it's going to be ages away, but it's going to be a very interesting final day of the season, I think. I've never known it. I don't know about you, but I've never known a League Two race to
I haven't seen this tight since we played Carlisle for the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Years back.
Yeah, that's true. That was good. That was a while ago. Yeah, but yeah, it's one of them. It's going to be an interesting one, to be honest with you. But yeah. Obviously, depending on who's available for Saturday, obviously Reece Oates will be the first name on the team sheet. But if not, there's Danny Johnson on there that can do a job. So there's options that we can use. George Morris is a one as well. He's performed really well, and I feel for him because he did so well in that unbeaten run. And I know obviously we'll have Longstaff in there, but I feel for him as well as Ollie Clark, who's not been able to have a chance. So there's plenty of options there for Nigel.
Yeah, there is. And not that is some players are coming back from injury and some are out on loan as well. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it will be, mate. Absolutely, mate. And, I'm just looking at the fixtures now. So, this weekend, when we've got Scunthorpe, Exeter's got Carlisle, which will be a tough game. Forest Green's more or less up. They're more or less up anyway. Northampton, Bradford. That'll be a good game. Yeah, well.
Where's that? Northampton?
Yeah, it's at Northampton. Yeah, that one is. We've got Port Vale against Oldham. I'd still fancy Port Vale. But then again, Oldham, they still need to be safe, so that would be a tough one.
Yeah, they do.
And then we've got, who else? Tranmere Rovers versus Bristol Rovers.
Where are them two in the league?
They are. I've got the league table up actually. I did. They are. Tranmere Rovers are below us on 64 points, and Bristol Rovers are just above us via goal difference.
We could do with that one a draw.
Yeah, definitely.
We need that one to be a draw, no matter what now.
Yeah, and this is the thing, mate. Like you said earlier on when you came on, there's so many teams that have got to play in and around each other. We haven't got to do that now because Forest Green's practically up anyway now. So it's basically a second and third up for grabs for me, mate. I think
it is. It's like smash and grab now.
It is, mate. It really, really is, mate. And it's just obviously it's exciting to be in it, though. Because there's so many teams that can be challenging, and it's. Really can't wait for the run-in, but yeah, like I say, we're just got to win on Saturday if we can. We've got to. I think we've got to, mate. I don't see any of them. We've got to, mate. It's as simple as that.
Start of season where we was start off with until now, and I've thought we'd be in this position.
Same here, mate. I don't think anyone sort of fan. You might have got the odd one that, but me personally, mate, I am partly surprised because I think when you've gone 40 games without a win, you do start to question where we're going to be like and. The turnaround I think we've had is probably one of the best we've had in recent years. I can't remember a Mansfield team that's done that in recent times.
Do you remember when I said to you about the start of the season when we had players out injured? I said, do you watch this? Like, they'll come good when it comes.
Yeah, true. He did say that, mate. And he's not just saying that. He did say that to me, like, and I was just kind of like, I wouldn't say darting it, but obviously you do start to ask questions like, okay, are they going to click? And they have clicked. It's just. We just need to cut out them errors and just be more clinical. That's the thing we've got to work on, in my opinion. Then we'll be fine.
Cheers.
It's just small margins, mate. It's just small margins that get us at times. Like I say, the goal they scored last night, pulls off a great save, Bishop, like he has done for much of this season, and it comes out right to him. It could have gone anywhere, that. It could have gone out, but sod's law, it goes right to their player and bang, Just sod's law, mate, isn't it, Right, let's have a look at more of your comments. LM, good evening. I would play Law instead of Quinn so we can save him for Sutton. Interesting one. Interesting one. What's your thoughts on that, mate? Would you play Law instead of Quinn for Sutton? What's your take on that, mate?
Tough one. I'll keep Quinn playing as it is. I won't change it a minute.
Yeah, it's a good point. I see where you're coming from, though, LM, because obviously we don't want key players being injured. Obviously, Reece Oates picked up a knock. A groin. I think it's a groin injury. I think he'd got as well as Murphy. But yeah, I mean, like I say, Jason Law, he had a really good end to last season. He really did. And obviously, when you look at the team with players we've got now, it's obviously top. But I think with Stephen Quinn, we've only won one game, I think, without him. So it just shows you how important he is as well. So it'd be a tough call. It really would be a tough call to be honest.
This shot last night were very unlucky.
I know in the first half, mate, I thought it was in.
I thought it was in.
As soon as that left his boot, mate, I thought that was gone in. I'd honest to God, because it wasn't that far off. It really wasn't.
Weren't far at all. I thought that would have been a goal of the season.
It would have been. At least. One of them, yeah, definitely. I still think Reece Oates gets it for me, though, against Colchester. I think that should get goal. It should for me, like, but...
that one, I think that would have come top.
Yeah. No, it would have been up there, mate, definitely. If that would have gone in, it would have been... I feel last Saturday Oates should have been subbed at half time, but we kept him on and now could be sidelined for a few games. Good point, that, because you could tell he was struggling, Oates, couldn't you? You could tell he was struggling to move about. I don't get why he just didn't like what Frank said there, because, why not put Bowery on? We should have just subbed Bowery at half time, mate. That's what I'd have said.
Yeah, I would have done exactly the same, or tried to go a bit more defensive and then catch him on the counter because we went 1-0 up and they was going to throw everything at us anyway. So
yeah, and I get why he kept him on. It's Reece Oates. He's one of the most goal threats. I get that, but at the same time, there's other players there, like we said, Danny Johnson. That's not been featured much. And there's other players as well, like Jason Law, like Elam mentioned. So, but me personally, mate, I'd have just played Bowery from the start anyway. Like I said to you at half time, I'd have stuck because again, Bowery's been great.
Yeah, he's had a good season up to yet.
Yes,
and really around.
Yes, I think it's just the system that we play. It just really suits him, doesn't it? Because he can play wing back, he can play on the wing. So, and that's what I mean. I'd play Bowery. You know what I'd do for Saturday, right? Just let me know in the comments as well as yourself, Doug. I'd put Bowery on the wing and I'd put Akins up top with Oates if he's fit. Yeah,
because if Akins can hold up the ball and then lay it off to someone who can actually score, then
yeah. Or if not Oates, if he's injured or if he's still not fit, put like Akins and Johnson up top and Bowery on wide. That's what I'd do, mate.
It worked out well last night.
Yeah. When you saw him on that wide, Bowery was taking players on, and that's what he does. He's really good at what he does with Bowery, to be fair. So I'd try that, mate, personally, because as soon as he runs at defenders, we've seen it before, with Bowery's pace and that, it causes problems. But anyway, it would be a manager but that's what I'd personally do. Just try something different,
You see when we played on the wings last night when we went down 10 men. I thought we were opening them up.
Yeah. But yeah, even McLaughlin, to be honest with you, he came forward. He did quite well as well. So again, we've got so many options there. I don't know, mate. I don't know. So we've also got some player interviews as well, Doug. Like I say, got Les Robinson that I'm interviewing, so I'm sure that's going to be a blast from the past review as well, mate.
It will be, yeah.
He was a player, obviously, like myself, that you remember watching at the time, being a part of a really good squad, so but that's going to be a great watch for you. What have you got? Have you got any memories of Les Robinson? Any particular thing that stands out about him, or
one of the solid defenders that we ever had?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think we suppose we could do with that bit of that art, to be fair, at times.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, jokes aside, though, like I say, I think that's what we need, though. We just need calm heads in the dressing room now. Obviously, you've got the likes of James Pertz and Stephen Quinn, players that can say, look, come on now, lads, let's not blow this. We've been here, done that now. And just, hopefully them players can help the younger players out and, we can get over the line because... Again, this is the farthest we've come in since the quick era, so this is the best chance to years.
Well, some of the old players back then were brilliant players, but like Perchy now has been there and done it, so you can bring his wisdom onto young players.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, look at start of season when James Perch, when he got injured for the season, how much we missed him. You know what I mean? That's how much of an influence these players are. So I think it would be hard to leave Stephen Quinn out of the team because, again, I think we've only won, I think it's one game, like I say, with him being in it. And that just shows you how important players are. You know?
Fair enough, Bishop's only young, but like Perch and some of the experienced defenders that we've got, they're doing a job. Even Bishop, even though he's on loan, first on loan goalkeeper that we've ever had in this position, and he's loving it.
Yeah, he is. And like I say, for his age, he plays like he's a 30-year-old keeper. Like, you know, just the way his experience is. I mean, like I say, like I've said before so many times, he's just one of the best keepers we've had in Norwich, personally, mate.
Even last start we conceded, he yelled at his defence though, and I've never seen that before because he said that I saved it, someone should have been covering.
Yeah, I didn't. Like I say, I fell for him because he pulled off a great save. Well, I don't think he knew much about it. I think it just hit him. But like, either way, he pulled off the save, and then just one of them as a keeper, you can't do anything about them. Kind of, you know.
No.
You've got no keeper's going to keep that. You know, it's just how it is. Got another comment here from Glenn. Put Rawson in back form, put Hawkins up top. If Oates out, Akins, for me, won't get us promotion. He's not good enough, but that's my opinion. Bring Maris back into the side, he makes us tick. So the first point, we said this earlier on, put Hawkins up top and obviously put Rawson in the back four. And I've been saying this for weeks, mate. I don't know why he hasn't done that, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And like I say, I think, again, there has been games where he's played all right in defence, Hawkins. There's been games where he's played all right there. But again, he has made mistakes there as well that has led to goals as well. As he's on 13 bookings. So if he gets 2 more bookings, he's out for 3 games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We can't afford any booking any players getting suspended now, not at this time.
No, we can't, mate. I mean, like I say, touch wood, Latchley's not out for 4 games if that gets rejected, because that's off the games essentially. So we could be without 2 key players. What do you think?
It is, yeah.
And I don't know. It's just like I say. And what do you expect? You play a position out of a player out of position, then that's what you're going to get, mate. You know what I mean? I'd understand it if he played as a centre half before, but to my knowledge, don't quote me, but I think this is the first time he's played as one, to be honest. So
it is, yeah.
You know, but yeah, I agree. Put him up top. We'll sign him as a striker. Put him as a striker. We've got Rawson there now, like what Glenn just said, and like we said, we've got Perch there, so we don't need him back there. That's what I mean. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know. So and Akins won't get promoted. Won't get us promoted. He's not good enough. But that's Glenn's opinion. I think the quality is there. I just think it's just he needs a goal. That's my opinion on him. I think he's got. He brings up to play. He just needs a goal, mate. I think that's all he needs, and that's it. But he's only got 7 games to do it. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only thing about it. He gets 1 goal, that's it. We saw it with Reece Oates, and that's all he needs to do, like. But it's one of them, like, it's just like a monkey needs to get on his back. It really does.
Yep.
It does. But I think he is good enough. I do think he is. It's just, again, it's just one of them. I think it's just confidence. I think that's the problem with him. But again, once he gets 1, hopefully he can get more. That's my opinion as well. But I take your point, Glenn. I think I can see why fans are frustrated. They've got every right to be because, you know, you look at what he's done at Burton, and I know he's not been here that long. But, you would have expected him to score at least a couple by now. To be fair. And bring Maris back into the side. He makes us tick. I 100% agree with that. I feel for Maris because he has been playing well, to be fair, when he was in the side. So, again, maybe that could be a good thing for us as well because he's a player that likes to get himself stuck in as well. So he could be a good player to bring in on Saturday.
It will be.
You know, because at the end of the day, it's scrappy games, mate. And even Ollie Clark's another one that can get stuck in as well. So they're the kind of players that you need on the pitch that's going to do the dirty side of the game as well. So, you know, I mean, yeah, Maris would be great to be back in the side.
It sounds like Johnson, he loves them sort of games. He loves the scrappy games. Ball in the track, that's it.
Yeah, he does, mate. And that's it, you know. I know certain players have to be patient because obviously with the players in front of him, like Reece Oates has been playing really well and obviously Barry. But at the end of the day, you know, there's no point risking injury, mate. There's no point doing that. Just give someone else a chance because end of the day, Riso potentially could be out for a couple of weeks. So, it's just fine margins in football. But if there's no point risking it, not at this stage of the season, mate.
Any news on his injury or nothing at all yet?
Nothing much. I mean, Nigel said after the game he's going to see how it goes, if anything. Same with Jamie Murphy. But if it's one of them, I wouldn't rush him back. If it's not 100%, I wouldn't risk it. Put him on the bench maybe, but I wouldn't risk doing that, if I'm honest.
Full 90, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk doing it. Like I say, just stick Johnson up top with Hawkins or something like. That's what I'd personally do. But like I say, hopefully George Lapsley's red card gets rescinded because it was, like I've said, wasn't a red card. So
no. Well, we should find out Friday, shouldn't we? Tomorrow, Friday.
Yeah, we should do, mate. Maybe Friday. I think it takes a couple of days, I think. But either way, whenever hopefully they do come to a decision, the FA, and just reinstate that because it wasn't even a foul to me. It wasn't even a yellow card for that matter. Because again, the player was nowhere near it. The Forest Green players didn't expect it to be a red. They were just as shocked as anybody.
Yeah, they even looked gobsmacked. But the fans were chanting red card before referee had even attempted to even get his hand out of his pocket.
But how many games? It's not like. Like I say, that you look at that red card compared to the Northampton player against Lapsley. He physically pushed him down to the floor. Right in front of the referee.
Yeah.
So obvious, mate. Red card. If one of our players did that, we'd be saying the same thing. Obvious red card. But again, there was nothing in that at all. But when a player starts screaming and for the Evans, that's it. You basically might as well start walking off the pitch essentially.
Funny bit about the Northampton game was referee were already giving me a yellow card anyway for the tackle. Then he went for the push. Then he had no choice.
Yeah.
The second yellow, he mattered seconds really.
Yeah, and that's the thing because the referee had a thought about it, and when he saw that straight away, bang. But this referee, he didn't go to his official, nothing. He just made the mind up. That was it.
Yeah.
Like I say, the linesman were quite close to it as well, so the linesman would have had a good view. The
linesman didn't even flag.
No, that's what I mean. So I don't know, but it was just awful, just really bad. But I'm sick of every week we speak about referees, mate. Every time, it is, isn't it? But I don't want to go too much. But anyway,
well, the FA have got to put their own report in anyway, so they've got to look at linesmen and see what they reckon. If they put a report in as well, then it'll get rescinded that way anyway. So
yeah, exactly. They've obviously, but that's something they've got to look at it from different angles as well. They've got to look at obviously the player, the Forest Green player, see if he was anywhere near it, and that'll decide it for me because he wasn't, and that alone just covers it,
Yeah.
And not just that, Matt Morris. Lapsley's not that kind of player for a start. He's not like he's not a player that does that. So I can't remember I know he did get sent off, I think, last season, but that was just it was just because it was an obvious red card. Which fair enough if it was, fair enough. But I
even watched on calendar today, and they said, Lapsley got sent off. But even looking at calendar, they showed it. He was already on the ground before he even got his car. Even he looked gobsmacked.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was, but it's just these. Decisions like this, mate. It can just cost any team, not just us, but any team. But I still thought the players did well with 10 men. I thought they played better with 10 men than 11 at times. To be honest with you,
I agree with you.
Obviously we could have tested the keeper more, obviously, but in terms of performance, mate, I tell you, I've never, because sometimes it can go either way. Sometimes teams will batter you when you've got 10 men, but it's always hard to play against 10 men because we've found that out ourselves against other teams. So, and it's credit to Nigel for bringing Johnson on to try and get a goal at the end.
I can't remember on commentary last night, but they did turn around and say this is quite strange though, because they said that most teams crumble when they've got 10 men, but they said that Mansfield never even crumbled again. It a damn good go. Yeah,
they did. They did, absolutely. I think it would have been either Dean Falks or Martin Shaw, one of the two, or depending on who you were listening to. But yeah, we did, and
it was them too.
Bang on, and it was absolutely bang on that because they didn't give up. They didn't, because usually teams can either lay down and die, but but again, mate, we had chances, didn't we? We had chances. That's what makes it more frustrating for me. It really does.
I know that is. We deserved something out of the game. We didn't deserve to lose that one.
No. I think a point would have been a fair result, personally speaking, because. All due respect to Forest Green, obviously they're there for a reason and credit to them. But I think on the night, I don't think, from all the teams we've faced, I think we've played against better sides for me, if I'm being honest.
We have.
that's no thing against them. It's just we've played against teams that's given us more problems, and I don't think, apart from the goal, they've really tested Bishop. I don't think, if I'm being honest. I can't remember a real save yet to make, really, to be honest with you. The Bishop, I'm struggling to think, really.
In second half, you're more like a spectator because they didn't do anything.
No, I can't think of a shot or any problems. I mean, obviously they put him under pressure as you'd expect, but in terms of shots, I don't think he had much to do with them, in my opinion. And the defence blocked well, and he was quite solid, to be honest. But even when it was 0-0, to be honest with you, we were solid then. If I'm honest, it was just one of them things, deflection straight to him, bang.
If we would have scored early on, if Fakins would have put that one in, then it'd be a different game altogether. Then they would have really had to come at us.
Yeah, it could have been. That's it, mate. Like I say, or if Quinn's effort would have gone in, we could be talking about a point. But it's just fine margins in football, I think, mate. I think that's what it comes down to, I mean, like I say, if you get outplayed, fair enough, you hold your hands up. But it's, it's one of them games we could have got something from it. But, we never do things the easy way, mate. As you know, you've been a...
There's always the easy way, the hard way, then the Mansell way.
Exactly, mate. And obviously, yourself been going on a lot longer than what I have, and you can protest to that, mate, because we haven't. We've been. It's never easy for us, well.
I've never us to have this many games in hand, or how many games we've got to play.
No, same here, mate. Yep, same here, mate. And I'm just looking a bit at the fixtures on Good Friday when we've got Sutton United. Exeter's got Colchester at Exeter. That'll be another tough one.
Will be.
Obviously, Barrow, I don't want to say Forest Green because they're more or less up anyway. Bradford's got Tranmere at Bradford. Bristol's got Salford. Port Vale's got Hartlepool away. That'll be a very tough game because Hartlepool are a good side at their place as well.
They are as well. Well, we know that.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got Newport, Crawley, Oldham and Northampton. Ooh, and then... Yeah, that's pretty much it, to be fair. But yeah, that's what I mean. So these teams we've got around us, they've got tougher tests than what we have. When you think
they have,
because we've been to Oldham's, we've been to these places, and like you said earlier, they're only top in terms of top 6 teams to Forest Green, and that's last game of the season.
It is, but some of the other teams have still got to play each other, and it's not exactly going to be in his game from it's going to be all nitty gritty.
Yeah, it will be. It will be, mate. It will be. It'll be a very tough game, mate. But end of the day, mate, it's good to be in it and not, that's the thing about it. Because, like you said earlier, I don't think anybody or many people would have thought we'd be in the situation from the start of the season, to be fair. Because, personally speaking, I'll hold my hands up. I didn't think we'd be where we are. But let's be honest, mate, we'd have took that at the start of the season. We'd have took that.
Was I drunk or was I sober when I said it to you?
Maybe a mixture of both, actually, to be honest. It's hard to tell at times, mate. But either way, it was a really good prediction, mate. Nevertheless, like I say, I'm really looking forward to travelling down with you on the weekend on Westfields, mate. Like I say, so looking forward to the last 2 seats, mate. I just couldn't believe it. It's fate, that is, mate. That's it, So if we do win, then but yeah.
But I'm going out on the bat here. I'm going to say 4-0 Mansfield.
Ooh, 4-0 Mansfield by Dougie there. It's a very bold prediction, but yeah. So on that then, guys, what's your predictions for this weekend's game? Dougie's gone for 4-0. I'm just going to play it safe and say 2-0. I think, 2-0. I'm just going to say 2-0. But I hope it's 4. It'd be great if it was. We need a goal difference up, though, to be honest, because it could, to be honest, because if I'm mistaken, correct me, but it came down to goal difference last time. So,
did you?
Goal difference is a big thing. So we could. I can't remember the last time where we actually beat somebody by 3 or 4-0. I can't remember the last time it was. If I'm honest, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
It's been because it's usually just been like games we've just won at the last minute or 1 or 2-0. I know win's a win, but I can't remember the last time when we actually dominated a team by that amount of goals. I can't remember the last time it was, to be fair. But I've gone 2-0 on Mansfield.
A few years ago. Yeah,
I think the last one was Oldham when we played them at their place and they had 9 men. That was a big score.
That was
it. That's the only one I can think of that springs to mind. But I mean, and it wins a win, and I don't care if it's a scrappy one, and that's the most important thing. But I'm just saying, I can't remember the last time we've actually battered a team, to be honest with you.
It's a good time ago.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it is, mate. It's very much is, mate. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think the only changes I've made, like I say, going into Saturday's game, give or take injuries, I would put Hawkins up top, put Rawson back there with Perch, or just Perch in there, and so that frees him up front, and then obviously stick Johnny Johnson up there with Akins and potentially, basically Oates if he's fit. If he's not fit, don't risk it because we need him. We need the best players we can get, so there's no point risking them.
No point risking for a team like the bottom of the league. If we ground out a result, we'll ground it out, but we can't risk the best players getting injured now. At this late stage.
No, we can't, mate. And same goes for any player, obviously, but especially when you're talking about Reece Oates, goals alone, that's won us games individually, so we can't afford to lose him at any cost. Paul, 2-0 for me. Yeah, same here, Paul. I've gone for that. But, knowing our luck, we'll leave it to last minute like we do, because that's what we do, But I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'm looking forward to the atmosphere because it's the first time I've been down there myself, to be fair.
Same here.
Gone to Scunthorpe, because they've usually been in League One, or Championship, So I think it's over 2,000 Mansfield fans, I think, or near that amount.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen Scunthorpe at bottom of the league, really.
Yeah,
never seen that low. Never ever seen that low.
No, I haven't, mate. And obviously, I don't know what's going off there, but obviously they must have some owner issues, or they must have something. But I'm sure, club of that size, I'm sure they'll be back stronger when they do go down. Because again, not so long ago, there was in the Championship at one point. So
yeah, there was.
So so I'm sure they'll be back. As soon as when they come back up. But yeah, I mean, all we can do, mate, focus on ourselves. Let's not really worry about what anyone else is doing. We've just got to focus on ourselves. It's as simple as that, mate.
That's true.
But yeah, that's anything we can really think of. So anything else you can think of you want to bring up tonight? Anything else? Anything you want to bring up tonight? But no, I think we pretty much covered everything, to be fair. So we talked about Green, Lapsley. Like I say, what we're going to do as well, we're going to obviously update people on the page about George Lapsley. I'd expect a decision either tomorrow or Friday, if I was to guess. I think how long does it usually take? About a couple of days usually, or
it normally does, yeah. So hopefully we should find out either tomorrow or Friday.
Yeah. Oh, Murphy. Yeah, Murphy. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Jamie Murphy's another player that we haven't really spoke about tonight. I don't think he's like Akins. He's not performed badly, I don't think. I think he's been all right, but again, he's another player that's just not got any goal for us yet, But I think he's injured as well, isn't he? So I don't know how long he's going to be out for. We don't know until, obviously, Nigel's next press conference, but hopefully he's not going to be out for too long because, again, we're going to need all the options that we're going to need, to be fair. But having said that, it gives players like Johnson and Morris and Clark a chance. So when one door shuts, another one opens,
That's true. It's his hamstring that's with Murphy.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're looking, 2 to 3 weeks, maybe, something like that?
Easy. But I don't think he'll push him.
Yeah, true. Oh, that's good. That's a good point Paul's just brought up here about Murphy. He hasn't done anything wrong, but he hasn't shown anything either. That's true. I think that's a fair comment. I think, I think that's fair, to be honest with you, Paul. Yeah, I can't agree with more of that. I mean, anything you want to add to that, Dougie? What's your opinion on Murphy from what you've seen?
I agree. I think he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't done enough.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely. But same again, you could say the same about Akins. I think he's shown a bit more than Murphy, to be fair. But I don't think they're necessarily bad players. I just think it's just I keep going back to it, but I think either confidence or just that final decision making. I think that's what it comes down to, in my opinion. I think it's just decision making can be better at times.
It is.
When you get a player that either decides to pass the ball, they could shoot instead, and maybe, rather than doing that for a change, but that's what confidence brings you. I mean, look at Reece Oates when he played. Straight away, exactly he's going to run at defenders, he's very direct, and he's a pain for players, and, and hopefully that's what they can be like. But yeah, like I say, I'm going to say 2-0 this weekend. And like I say, mate, I'm really looking forward to travelling down with you on Westfield Stags. Just to remind people as well, Dougie, the coach leaves at 10:30, is it?
It is 10:30.
So if you go in town to the New Inn pub with the Westfield Stags, if you know what's going on, it's 10:30, guys. So sure to get there. What time's it open again?
I think it's 8 o'clock.
Oh, 8 o'clock. Wow. Okay. So if you want to come in and go get you some early pint, which I'm sure Mr. Kimberley here will do that.
I'll be no Wetherspoons. 9 o'clock.
What are you going to get in your breakfast before you go down then, or?
Yeah, I will do.
I don't blame you, mate. I tell you, it's a good price for the breakfast in there. To be fair, I don't fault you, mate. But yeah, like I say, if you see any of us at the games or Westfields or wherever, just give us a shout, speak to us, come up to us, and just chat to us about Stags and give us your thoughts on things. So feel free to chat to us and obviously say if you agree with us or we're talking complete rubbish. Let us know. Which I've been told a few times, but this is why I do the podcast. Everyone could have to say, that's
what it is. I'll not be dressed in my Stags colours this weekend anyway. I'll be dressed as a nun.
Yeah, well, I thought that's what you dressed up like anyway.
Very funny.
But no jokes aside, I can't say too much myself. Can be Christian anyway, so that's as far as it goes for me this weekend. Like, because trust me,
you're not drunken nuns. About 50 of us all.
Yeah, so there's going to be a fancy dress theme. I don't know if it's just is it just Westfields that's doing that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So
Westfield Stags is going to be nun. It's going to be like a nun-themed away theme. So you're not miss our lot, trust me. You won't miss any of us lot. You'll just get Dougie and a whole host of people, and then just like me and my dad in just our stags. I just can't wait for it, mate. But yeah, brilliant. Last comment of tonight, Paul. Cheers, Mark and Dougie. Enjoy tonight. Thank you again, Paul. Really appreciate that, and same for everyone else for coming on and just watching us talk about Mansfield and. Well, hopefully, Dougie, we can make it a regular thing, this, mate, where we can just come on every week.
I hope so.
Yeah, like I say, mate, now you've, at least you've figured out how to come on now, on the podcast, mate.
I'm still figuring out how to use a computer.
Yeah, he's just getting there. It's just, yeah, so, which I tried to get him on last week, but you tried to do it on your phone, which I didn't know that didn't work. But anyway, we've figured it out now, so, got Dougie now to have his say on things as well. So, originally, though, when I first started the podcast, guys, on the other channel, I actually started out with Dougie to begin with. So, we started out, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
So Dougie, me and Dougie actually started the podcast originally. So you're looking at the two founders of the podcast, actually. So, I did it actually with Dougie. Really looking forward to it. Kathy Holmes, me too. Oh, great. Right, sweet. So, like I say, we've got somebody there as well that's going to be joining. I can't wait for it. I love away days, mate. I love it. I absolutely love away days, mate. I mean, the amount of lads coming down, mate, and brilliant. And hopefully we can come back with the 3 points, But, wow. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for tuning into the podcast tonight. Really appreciate you taking your time out of your evening, Same to you, Doug, as well. Appreciate you coming.
All right, buddy. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, and like I say, mate, more than welcome to come on weekly, like we used to, essentially,
Yeah, true.
So yeah, thanks again, mate. And like I say, we'll let you know all the latest news and rumours and interviews and what have you on the page as always. So be sure to check us out. And yeah, thanks all for tuning in, basically, and take care. All the best. Thank you. All right.